And let's bring in the other side, Republican Tennessee Congresswoman Diane Black. She's sponsoring a bill to defund Planned Parenthood. Congresswoman, it's good to have you here. Please make the case of why this bill is necessary.
Well, given the films that we have seen, the undercover videos, we see things in those undercover videos that raise the question about whether there's legality. Look, we're not talking about whether it's legal to have an abortion. We're talking about whether they have broken laws in the way in which they're doing these abortions. And so my bill simply puts a moratorium on the funding of Planned Parenthood until Congress has an opportunity to be able to do the investigations to either determine there are laws that are being broken or there are not.
Right.
And it is a moratorium. It is not a total defunding, but it is a moratorium on all of their funding for a year.
All right, let's go through this step by step. All right, first, have you seen all the videos yourself?
I've seen every one of the videos, plus I've seen more. I've seen other videos that are still not been released.
If they haven't been released, how did you see them?
Because I saw them at an opportunity where the Center for Medical Progress got together a few individuals to let us know that these videos would be coming out.
Okay, so I haven't seen those videos, but in what is available, and according to Planned Parenthood, the very disturbing image that Carly Fiorina points to that has become a rallying point for people who frankly don't want to see babies abused that way, doesn't exist. There is no live beating baby, this horrible picture that Carly Fiorina painted at the debate that would certainly galvanize any community of support doesn't exist. Planned Parenthood says what's suggested about the videos is patently untrue. Now, are you saying that Carly Fiorina is right? You've seen video of a baby, heart beating, sitting on a table as they wait for it? You've seen that?
I'm not going to defend what Carly said in the manner in which she said it. I have not, that video I have not seen. But what I think that she's referring to is there was one of the workers that was testifying in one of the videos that this was what she was asked to do, is to retrieve fetal tissue from a live embryo or a live fetus.
We both know
and so I've not seen that. I'm not defending that. Let me talk about what I have seen and what I do know exists. And what I do know exists is I have seen doctors that are talking about doing abortions where they say, well, we'll crunch below and we'll crunch above the organ that you want, and then we'll make sure that we get what you need.
Right.
And that's against the law. You cannot perform an abortion differently on one woman than you do the other for the sole purpose of harvesting fetal tissue.
Representative Black.
This is against the law.
Representative Black, if what the people say on the video is true, is practiced, is verifiable, then it could be against the law. The reason I qualify it the way I do is that this situation demands investigation. Nobody's saying it should not be investigated. It's what should be investigated, how should be investigated are the issues. By putting this bill in early, it reeks of playing politics, because why would you stop the funding before you know the facts?
Well, because what we're seeing is suspicious enough, and there are 3 different laws that would be broken in there. They do also have a doctor that's talking about haggling over the price of the fetal tissue to be sold. She even says she needs money to buy a Lamborghini. If they were just harvesting the tissue and for the sole purpose of doing research, then they would have a schedule to say, here's how much it costs to retrieve it, to prepare it, to store it, and to transfer it. Not haggling over a glass of wine and crunching on salad.
But that's bad. That's a bad example of behavior. That's someone who's being unprofessional, who's arguably being immoral in their discussion of what they do with their work in science and in medicine. But to stop the funding, you're assuming has no price attached to it. We're going to have a moratorium and we'll figure it out. There's a price. You're going to stop having services. You're going to stop having services at Planned Parenthood. They have a lot of women of lower income who go there for help. And maybe they won't go, maybe they won't get help. Please, but that's the assertion.
Can I stop you a moment? Because I'd love for you to read the bill. It says, if Planned Parenthood wants to be able to provide women's services, as they talk about, and by their own reports, they will talk about decreasing these services that we keep mentioning that, oh, everybody needs these services. By the way, there are community health centers that provide these services too. But it says in the bill, if they want to continue to keep their funding, they just need to stop doing abortions during this time. So they're the ones that that are making the decision. Do they want to continue what they say are these essential services that they really are committed to providing to women, or do they want to continue to do their big abortion industry, 327,000 abortions a year, which, by the way, our money is going to Planned Parenthood. And if you read the GAO report, you will see money is fungible. There is a discussion about whether you can say on one side the organization uses the money for this service, and on the other side it uses the money for another service. How do we know where that money is going? So I say, let's blow the whistle. Let's stop. This is taxpayer money. And if an organization is committing these crimes, and they will be crimes if they're found to be true, then let Planned Parenthood do what they say they best do, and that is take care of women's services and not do abortions for a year.
I think that I would love to hear your examples of other situations where you have acted before you know the certainty of your basis for action. And that's what makes it seem like politics. And that's why you're targeting just the abortions with what you want them to stop. Why not ask them to verify what you want them to verify when you know they've come out and said these videos are bogus, they're doctored, we don't do what these people are suggesting we do in the videos. There is no baby.
Have you watched them?
Yes, I have.
Have you watched the videos?
Yes, I have, and that's why I'm concerned that I didn't see what Carly Fiorina describes. And that's why I'm worried that I haven't seen what you say you saw.
I'm not talking about Carly. I'm talking about what I saw on those videos, what you saw on those videos. And when you saw a full 10 minutes of conversation without a single break in there, and the kinds of things that they're saying there that are if they are true, then they are against the law. Why should we be giving taxpayer dollars to an organization that is breaking the law?
You shouldn't, but why stop the funding that helps all these low-income women before you know the facts?
That's Planned Parenthood's decision. They can stop doing the abortions, which is the piece we're concerned about, and provide those services they keep talking about that are so essential to women, which, by the way, other organizations,
but you're still stopping women from getting abortions that they have a legal right to get. You're saying they have to stop doing them until they satisfy you.
There are other abortion providers around. Let them go to another abortion provider that's not getting our taxpayer dollars.
What if they don't? There aren't that many providers as you're suggesting. You'll have more unwanted pregnancies.
Do you know that, Chris?
I absolutely do know. There were studies
pregnancies come from birth control pills, not from abortion on demand. That's what they should be doing.
No,
the more they do of providing the services
but that's your opinion.
Of counseling. No, it's not an opinion. It's a fact. If someone is taking birth control pills, then they're not going to get pregnant.
No, you're saying they should be doing more of that.
327,000 abortions a year, on-demand abortions.
Look, I'm not saying that you're wrong to not like abortions, Congresswoman. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that you're using your role as a public official to stop them when they're legal, when women may not be able to get them, and that's their legal right. It is not as easy to get them other places. A lot of women would have to go a very far way to get them. You may have more unwanted pregnancies. You have 10.6 million points of service in addition to those abortions.
Pregnancy, Chris.
Excuse me?
Let's talk about an unwanted pregnancy. How do you have an unwanted pregnancy? You have an unwanted pregnancy by not getting the birth control. So let's do more of making sure women understand that an unwanted pregnancy comes as a result of not using birth control. Let's have them do more of that and less of the abortions.
Wait, I thought this was about Planned Parenthood doing things that may be illegal. Now you're saying it's about what you want women taught about whether or not they should have pregnancies a certain way.
You are making the point that there will be more unwanted pregnancies if Planned Parenthood were not able to perform their services. I'm simply saying an unwanted pregnancy is prevented beforehand, not after someone has gets pregnant.
I'm saying for women who make the legal right, if they make their choice within their legal rights to have an abortion, and you are not allowing Planned Parenthood to have abortions available for them, then you will have more unwanted pregnancies. I'm not making a moral judgment on that. I'm just saying that that's a factual proposition if you stop Planned Parenthood from being able to do what they do.
There are other abortion providers out there that women can go to.
They're not as close. It might have a chilling effect, and that's the concern. Why not just wait, find out the facts, and deal with Planned Parenthood then?
Listen, this is not the only place that we take money away from people when they are performing illegal activities.
You don't know that it's illegal yet.
Well, those films certainly give us enough indication that we should stop funding them with taxpayer dollars until we find out. Now, if they want to stop doing the abortions, they can get the money for all those other services that you keep talking about,
But
Chris.
you're not supposed to.
The money would be available.
But why
Plus
is it
the
okay
fact-
to do that? This is a longer conversation, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate you coming on, as you always do. It's important, and I have to test your position because there are two sides of it. But this is the question I'll leave for the audience. Why is it necessary to pull the money and have them stop doing abortions in order to figure out whether what's on these tapes is true? I don't understand why those processes go together. You're saying that they can rectify it themselves by stopping abortions until they satisfy your curiosity. Right. The question is that the right way to do it? That's for the people to decide. Congressman Diane Black, thank you for being on the show. As always, I appreciate you being tested on this.
Thank you very much, Chris, for having me.